Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, it has gone.
Prabhu, yeah, you put live.
I'm done. Tapan is coming. Okay. Chalo, we continue. Liberation of the King Jarasandha. Yes, no, Mataji, start reading.
Yes. Chapter 17, The Liberation of King Jarasandh. In the great assembly of respectable persons, citizens, friends, relatives, brahmanas, kshatriyas, and vaishyas, King Yudhishthir, in the presence of all, including his brother, directly addressed Lord Krishna as follows. My dear Lord Krishna, the sacrifice known as the Rajasuya Yagna is to be performed by the emperor, and it is considered to be the king of all sacrifices. By performing this sacrifice, I wish to satisfy all the demigods who are your empowered representatives within this material world. And I wish that you will kindly help me in this great adventure so that it may be successfully executed. As far as the Pandavas are concerned, we have nothing to ask from the demigods. We are personally fully satisfied by being your devotees. As
Okay.
as you say in the Bhagavad Gita, persons who are bewildered.
Just wait, I'll shape it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I have made a mistake. Okay. Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
As you say in the Bhagavad Gita, persons who are bewildered by material desires worship the demigods. But our purpose is different. I want to perform this Rajasuya sacrifice and invite the demigods to show them that they have no power independent of you. They are all your servants and you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay, you are the, okay, my. ठीक है ब्राह्मणा क्षत्रिय किंग युधिष्ठिर Tapan, welcome. Hare Krishna. All the
Hare
demigods,
Krishna,
including
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. He wants to do Yasu Yagna, want to satisfy the Devatas. Please help me. We actually have nothing to ask from the Devatas. We are happy to be your devotees. And people who are dragged by mental desires, they go to the Devatas. But why we are going? Because I want to invite and show to everybody that nobody is independent of you. They are all your servant. You are the Supreme Personality. Yes, how much you have read, Napur Mataji?
Uh, Prabhuji, that underlined the yellow one,
Take it,
the
continue.
Supreme
Continue.
Personality of Godhead.
Continue.
Foolish persons with a poor fund of knowledge consider your lordship as an ordinary human being. Sometimes they try to find fault in you, and sometimes they defame you. Therefore, I wish to perform this Rajasuya Yagya. I wish to invite all the demigods, beginning from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other exalted chiefs of the heavenly planets. And in that great assembly of demigods from all parts of the universe, I
One.
want to substantiate that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then everyone is your servant.
What does substantiate? You are the Supreme Personality Godhead, and everyone is the servant. So that is his main thing. He wants
Hmm.
to do Rasu Yagnas to glorify Krishna. That you are the Supreme Personality Godhead, and everyone is servant. Yes. There was a yatra on. Most of the people have gone to the yatra. Napur. Some
Oh,
35
okay,
people
okay.
have gone. So there are many of them are Shisha, who are the,
Oh, okay.
this thing. Yeah, continue.
My dear Lord, those who are constantly in Krishna consciousness and who think of your lotus feet or of your shoes certainly become free from all contamination of material life. Persons who are engaged in your service in full Krishna consciousness, who meditate upon you only, or who offers prayer unto you, are purified souls. Being constantly engaged in Krishna conscious service, such persons become freed from the cycle of repeated birth and death. They do not even desire to become freed from this material existence or to enjoy material opulences. Their desires are fulfilled by Krishna conscious activities. As far as we are concerned, we are fully surrendered unto your lotus feet. and by your grace, we are so fortunate to see you personally. Therefore, naturally, we have no desire for material opulences. The verdict of the Vedic wisdom is that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I want to establish this fact, and I also want to show the world the difference between accepting you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and accepting you as an ordinary, powerful, historical person. I wish to show the world that one can attain the highest perfection of life by simply taking shelter at your lotus feet, exactly as one can satisfy the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers of an entire tree simply by watering the root. Thus, if one takes to Krishna consciousness, his life becomes fulfilled both materially and spiritually.
Okay, so just understand. So those who meditate on your lotus feet are totally purified, become free from the cycle of birth and death. You do not want to get free. They have so much pleasure. You're surrendered. You are so fortunate to see you personally. Okay? And we have no desire for material opulences. You're the Supreme Personality Godhead. I want to establish this right. Okay? And accepting you're the ordinary powerful. There is a difference between accepting you're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accepting you're the ordinary, powerful, historical person. Ordinary, okay? Yeah. That one can attain higher perfection is simply taking shelter. So basically, he wants to glorify Krishna and wants to show that everybody should take shelter of Krishna. In presence of all the devatas, he wants to declare that. Okay? My voice is clear now, Nupur? Hare Krishna, Nupur? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, my voice is clear? Tapa?
Prabhuji, your voice is
Prabhuji, it's
breaking
clear.
little bit.
My voice is?
Oh.
My voice is breaking?
Continue reading.
No, is my voice okay? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, it's breaking a bit actually, but
Okay.
almost 90% it's okay. It's just breaking it a bit, little bit.
Let me just check. Settings are okay. USB codec I'm using for input and headphone for hearing and input. Okay, I take care of it. Should not happen. Chalo. Now it's okay?
It's much better, Prabhuji. Way better.
Yeah, chalo. Hare Krishna. Nupur, continue.
Yeah. This does not mean that you are partial to the Krishna conscious person and are indifferent to the non Krishna conscious person. You are equal to everyone. That is your declaration. You cannot be partial to one and not interested in others because you are sitting in everyone's heart as the super soul and giving everyone the respective results of his fruitive activities. You give every living entity the chance to enjoy this material world as he desires. As super soul, you are sitting in the body along with the living entity, giving him the results of his own actions, as well as opportunities to turn towards your devotional service by developing Krishna consciousness. You openly declare that one should surrender unto you, giving up all the other engagements, and that you will take charge of him, giving him relief from all reactions of all sins. You are like the desired tree in the heavenly planets, which awards benedictions according to one's desires. Everyone is free to achieve the highest perfection, but if one does not but if one does not so desire, then your awarding of lesser benediction
Lesser benediction is not due to
is benediction is not due to partiality.
Chalo,
On
wait a
hearing
minute.
this
Wait a minute.
statement, yeah.
You're not partial. How can Krishna be partial? Is sitting in everybody's heart. Just like, say, you're a teacher. Nupur, in your class, there are 40, 50 children. And suppose you have the power to parallelly sit with all students and you're guiding everybody. And then they listen to you or not listen to you, how much they follow you, that is left to them. But you're there with every child and you're personally guiding according to his position. Not that you're giving the same treatment because they're not equal patients. Patients are different. Or take a doctor. You're a doctor, there are 100 patients in a hospital. Everybody you spend, say, time. And if you're God, you're there with everybody 24 hours. Okay? You're guiding, you can do this, you can take this medicine. So in that way, how can any patient say you're partial? You're not partial. Correct? You're getting my point, Nupur?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Or my voice is still breaking?
No, it's okay
It's
now.
clear now.
Yes.
So we cannot say that Krishna is partial because he's equally giving everybody opportunity. Okay? And you openly declare in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has declared that you surrender unto him. Where there is a doubt what I'm supposed to do. Okay? And giving you relief, you are like the desire tree which about benediction one. Everyone is free to achieve the high, but if one does not desire awarding or lesser, benediction is not due to partiality. Continue. Okay, so just wait. Everyone is free to achieve higher perfection. It does not desire. So, okay, highest benediction you're ready to get. Okay? But if you do not want to take the highest benediction, it's not due to partiality. It is our situation. Just like there are three kind of devotees. One is the non-devotee, three kind of people. One is the non-devotee. And then second one, you can say materialistic devotee, contaminated, correct? Artha, artha, jigyasu. They go with the Lord with some kind of desire. And then we have pure devotees who just want to please Krishna. So each achieve a different amount of mercy of the Lord. Now, that is not because of Krishna, it's because of you. You are choosing. Anna? You're choosing how much you want to relate to you. So how can Krishna force himself? Continue, Mataji.
On hearing this statement of King Yudhishthir, Lord Krishna replied as follows. My dear King Yudhishthir, O killer of enemies, O ideal justice personified, I completely support your decision to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. By performing this great sacrifice, your good name will remain well established forever in the history of human civilization. My dear King, may I inform you that it is the desire of all great sages, your forefathers, the demigods, and your relatives and friends, including myself, that you perform this sacrifice, and I think it will satisfy every living entity. But because it is necessary, I request that you first of all conquer all the kings of the world and collect all requisite paraphernalia for executing this great sacrifice. My dear King Yudhishthir, your four brothers are direct representatives of important demigods like Varun, Indra, etc. It is said that Bhima was born of the demigod Varuna, and Arjuna was born of the demigod Indra, whereas King Yudhishthir himself was born of the demigod Yamraj. Your brothers are great heroes, and you are the most pious and self-controlled king, and therefore known as Dharmaraj. All of all of you are so qualified in devotional service unto me that automatically I have become by reviled by you.
Yes, you don't understand this.
Lord,
Yeah? This is not understand this. What is Krishna saying now? First, is dharma personified. Yes, it is quite true. Correct? Okay? He is very righteous person. He knows principles of religion. Okay? Krishna is on. See, he is trying to glorify Krishna. Krishna is trying to glorify his devotees. Hana? It's a performance great. Your name will become established forever in the history of human civilization. Krishna wants to glorify devotees. He can say not only me, great sages, forefather, devatas, relatives, friends, and including myself. We want you to do this. Basically, Rasa Yagna establishes. I was just thinking about it. Somebody, we had a discussion in the afternoon. You could hear that? Nupur Mataji, the discussion? No. We had an afternoon
no.
discussion till 10 o'clock. Last time
The
you joined
Srimad
us.
Bhagavatam? You're talking about Srimad Bhagavatam class?
Yeah, afternoon. Okay, anyway, we were
Yeah, I know. I
discussing.
didn't listen to it.
Today you didn't. So today we had a discussion. The point is that what is the purpose to establish one person as the ruler of the world? Then there is peace, no? I tell you, comparatively, when there was Russia and America were equally powerful to some extent, correct? There was kind of Cold War all around the world, isn't it? Anna? But more or less after that, America becomes a superpower, things reduce. You got it? Always in any situation, one person should be leader. Just like in a house, if one person is the leader, there is some kind of a peace. Finally, one person should predominate. If there are multipolar, two people want to be the boss together, there is constant politics will be there between them. Isn't it? What you say, Prabhu? I'm just thinking one more purpose I'm discussing or Rasa Yagna, because for the world it is good there is one leader, not two, not three. Got it? I'm just thinking, what is the purpose to have Rasa Yagna? Anyway, true, our Yudhishthira Maharaj is different. He wants to do Rasa Yagna, he wants to bring all the kings of the world, and in front of all the top people, he wants to worship Krishna and show to everybody, here is the Supreme Lord. Because that was his desire. And in front of all the devatas, everybody wants to do it. He said, okay. Yudhishthira, your four brothers, the direct representatives, we know this. Okay? Everybody knows. Okay? Great heroes, pious control, these are known as Dharmaraj. Okay? That I automatically become rival, so qualified in devotional service. So I am basically captured by you already. Yes, continue, Madhuri.
Lord Krishna told King Yudhishthir that he becomes conquered by the love of one who has conquered his senses. One who has not conquered his senses cannot conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the secret of devotional service. To conquer the senses means to engage them constantly in the service of Lord. The specific qualification of all the Panda brothers was that they always engaged their senses in the service of the Lord. One who thus engaged his senses becomes purified. And with purified senses, one can actually render service to the Lord. The Lord can thus be conquered by the devotee by loving transcendental service. Lord
Okay.
Krishna continued.
Wait a minute. One who thus engages themselves become purified, and purified senses we can actually render service to the Lord. Okay, by loving transcendental service. Lord can only be conquered by loving transcendental service. So first thing, Prabhupada is saying that if you cannot control the senses, one who not conquer, he cannot conquer. So that's the price to be paid. You understood, Prabhupada? But how do you control the senses? Constantly engage them in devotional service. You just like you have a holiday today, just chant 2-3 hours, sit down, chant more, chant still more. Correct? You will definitely conquer the senses. You got it? Did you
Yes,
getting the
Prabhupada.
point? The point is that unless you can control the senses, you cannot perform devotional service. What perform devotional service? Can you even do your office work when the mind is blown up? Anna, let us be realistic. And how you can do devotional service? Devotional service also requires quality person is patiently thinking of the Lord. Okay? To conquer the senses, mean how do you conquer the senses? Engage them in the service of the Lord. Okay? And Pandavas, they're always absorbed, engaged service in the service of the Lord. And by putting the senses in the service of the Lord, the senses become gradually purified, and then we can offer pure devotional service. Okay, the Lord can thus be conquered by devotee, by loving transcendental service. Okay, continue.
Lord Krishna continued. There is no one in the three worlds of the universe, including the powerful demigods, who can surpass my devotees in any of the six opulences, namely wealth, strength, reputation, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. Therefore, if you want to conquer the worldly kings, there is no possibility of their emerging victorious. When Lord Krishna thus encouraged King Yudhishthir, the king's face brightened like a blossoming flower because of transcendental happiness, and thus he ordered his younger brothers to conquer all the worldly kings in all directions. Lord Krishna empowered the Pandavas to execute his great mission of chastising the infidel miscreants of the world and giving protection to his faithful devotees. In his Vishnu form, the Lord therefore carries out four kinds of weapons in his four hands. He carries a lotus flower in a conch shell in two hands, and the other two he carries a club and a disc. The club and the disc are meant for the non-devotees, but because the Lord is the supreme absolute, the resultant action of all his weapons is one and the same. With the club and the disc, he chastises the miscreants so that they may come to their senses and know that they are not all in all. Over them there is the Supreme Lord, and by bugling with the conch shell and offering blessings with the lotus flower, he always assures the devotees that no one can vanquish them, even in the greatest calamity. King Yudhishthir, being thus assured by the indication of Lord Krishna, ordered his youngest brother Sahadev, accompanied by soldiers of the Shrajanya tribe, to conquer the southern countries. Similarly, he ordered Nakul, accompanied by the soldiers of Matsya Desh, to conquer the kings of the western side. He sent Arjuna, accompanied by the soldiers of Kekaya Desh, to conquer the kings of the northern side, and Bhimsen, accompanied by the soldiers of Madras Desh, was ordered to conquer the kings on the eastern side.
Now, this is something I was just reading a debate. There was a discussion actually about Karna Arjuna. No? So many people say Karna was a hero, he was bigger, just because of sentiments spared Arjuna. In this conquest, Bhima went to the east side, okay? and he defeated Karna alone with his bow and arrow, not on a bow and arrow fight. Correct. In Mahabharata, it is true. Karna was about won over Bhima, but Mahabharata also war a couple of times. Bhima won over him. So it's not like even Abhimanyu also defeated him. Karna. When Abhimanyu was surrounded, he defeated Karna. So simply they built up the story. All this what we call say Dalit leaders because Karna looks like a Dalit. This out the subject just to tell. At this point. Okay. So he dispatched 4 brothers in 4 directions, and Yudhishthira is very happy because Krishna is saying, my devotees, nobody can fight with them. Not possible. My devotees, the opulences cannot be surpassed. And there is no possibility. If you want to conquer, nobody can fight with you. So Yudhishthira is very happy because Krishna assured him, victory is guaranteed. Go ahead. Okay? And I inquired the Pandavas to create mission chastising. Therefore, carries 4. He had 2 conch shell, and flower is to encourage the devotees, and a disc, Sudarshana, and the club is for the non-devotees. Okay? Paritranaya sadhana vinasha dushtam. Yes, Tapan, you are appearing, disappearing. Okay, don't worry. It goes on. Okay. So they went to the 4 directions. 4 brothers he has sent. Yudhishthira Maharaj, 5 of them. So he's sitting in the capital and he has sent 4 people. Sahadeva he has sent, Nakul he has sent, Arjuna and Bhima. Okay. All the 4 directions. Arjuna went north, Bhima went east, and Sahadeva went southern, and Nakul went eastern. West. Okay, chalo. Okay, continue.
It may be noted that by dispatching his younger brothers to conquer in different directions, King Yudhishthira did not actually intend that they declare war with the kings. Actually, the brothers started for different directions to inform the respective kings about King Yudhishthira's intention to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. The kings were thus informed that they were required to pay taxes for the execution of the sacrifice. This payment of taxes to Emperor Yudhishthira meant that the king accepted his subjugation before him. In case of the king's refusal to act accordingly, there was certainly a fight. Thus, by their influence and strength, the brothers conquered all the kings in different directions, and they were able to bring in sufficient taxes and presentations. These were brought before King Yudhishthira by their brothers. King Yudhishthira was very anxious, however, when he heard that the King Jarasandha of Magad did not accept his sovereignty. Seeing King Yudhishthira's anxiety, Lord Krishna informed him of the plan explained by Uddhava for conquering King Jarasandha. Bhimsen, Arjun, and Lord Krishna then started together for Girivraj, the capital city of Jarasandha, dressing themselves in the garb of the Brahmanas. This was the plan devised by Uddhava before Lord Krishna started for Hastinapur, and now it was given practical application.
I just give this link. Okay, so now this plan which was already devised, we remember last time we discussed this plan, Nupur? That they will go as Brahmanas. Now they said, okay, we will go and tackle this Jarasandha. Yeah, continue.
King Jarasandha was very dutiful householder, and he had great respect for the Brahmanas. He was a great fighter, a Kshatriya king, but he was never neglectful of Vedic injunctions. According to Vedic injunctions, the Brahmanas are considered to be the spiritual masters of all other castes. Lord Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhimsen were actually Kshatriyas, but they dressed themselves as Brahmanas. And at the time when King Jarasandha was to give charity to the Brahmanas and receive them as guests, they approached him. Lord Krishna, in the dress of a Brahmana, said to the king, "We wish all glories to your majesty. We are 3 guests at your royal palace, and we are coming from a great distance. We have come to ask you for charity, and we hope that you will kindly bestow upon us whatever we ask from you. We know about your good qualities. A person who is tolerant is always prepared to tolerate everything, even though distressful. Just as a criminal can perform the most abominable acts, so a greatly charitable person like you can give anything and everything he has asked for.
Yes, continue.
Next page, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
For a personality, for a personality like you, there is no distinction between relatives and outsider. A famous man lives forever even after his death. Therefore, any person who is completely fit and able to execute acts which will perpetuate his good name and fame and yet does not do so becomes abominable in the eyes of the great persons. Such a person cannot be condemned enough, and his refusal to give charity is lamentable throughout his whole life. Your Majesty must have heard the glorious names of charitable personalities such as Harishchandra, Rantidev, and Mudgala, who used to live only on grains picked up from the paddy field, and the great Maharaj Sibi, who saved the life of a pigeon by supplying flesh from his own body. These great personalities have attained immortal fame simply by sacrificing this temporary imperishable body. Lord Krishna, in the garb of a Brahmana, thus informed Jarasan that the fame is imperishable, but the body is perishable. If one can attain imperishable name and fame by sacrificing his perishable body, he becomes a very respectable figure in the history of human civilization. While
Okay,
Lord
so now
Krishna,
chalo.
hmm,
So this is
hmm,
so he took some examples of Harish Chandra and all. Ranti Deva, we heard about Ranti Deva. Ranti Deva was basically a king, and he took a long fast. And when he was about to break his fast, one by one people come, and even the glass of water they take away. You understand?
hmm,
So, and he has taken a fast for a long time, and he gives away everything. Then
hmm.
they disclose themselves. They're all devatas and they bless him. Okay? That's a Ranti
Oh,
Deva
okay.
example. Harishchandra is also some. These are all examples of people who have been extremely charitable in the history. Okay?
Hmm.
There's a fame is more important. The body will anyway go. Fame is going to stay. So better become famous and be ready for charity. Then encouraging him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, while Lord Krishna was speaking in the garb of a Brahmana along with Arjuna and Bhima, Jarasan marked that the three of them did not appear to be actual Brahmanas. There, there were signs on their bodies by which Jarasandha could understand that they were Kshatriyas. Their shoulders were marked with an impression due to carrying bows. They had beautiful bodily structure and their voices were grave and commanding. Thus, he definitely concluded that they were not Brahmanas but Kshatriyas. He was also thinking that he had seen them somewhere before. All these three persons were Kshatriyas. They had come to his door begging alms like Brahmanas. Therefore, he decided that he would fulfill their desires in spite of their being Kshatriyas. He thought in this way because their position had already been diminished by their appearing before him as beggars. Under under the circumstances, he thought, I am prepared to give them anything, even if they ask for my body, I shall not hesitate to offer it to them. In this regard, he began to think of Bali Maharaj. Lord Vishnu, in the dress of a Brahmana, appeared as a beggar before Bali, and in that way he snatched away all of his opulence and kingdom. He did this for the benefit of Indra, who, having been defeated by Bali Maharaj, was bereft of his kingdom. Although Bali Maharaj was cheated, his reputation as a great devotee who was able to give anything and everything in charity is
Still glorified.
still glorified throughout the three worlds. Bali Maharaj could guess that the Brahmana was Lord Vishnu himself and that he had come to him just to take away his opulent kingdom on behalf of Indra. Bali's spiritual master and family priest Shukracharya repeatedly warned him about this, and yet Bali did not hesitate to give in charity whatever the Brahmana wanted, and at last he gave up everything to that Brahmana. It is my strong determination, thought Jarasan, that if I can achieve immortal reputation by sacrificing this perishable body, I must act for that purpose. The life of a Kshatriya who does not live for the benefit of the Brahmanas is certainly condemned.
Okay, so strong determination if I am immortal will sacrifice. Okay, so he said, better take a chance and I will become famous. Okay. And he remembered the example of Bali Maharaj. Okay. Anyway, they have diminished the position by coming and begging. So the ego is satisfied. Whoever they are, they came to beg from me. Okay. Continue.
Actually, King Jarasandh was very liberal in giving charity to the Brahmanas, and thus he informed Lord Krishna, Bhima, and Arjun. My dear Brahmanas, you can ask from me whatever you like. If you so desire, you can take my head also. I am prepared to give it. After this, Lord Krishna addressed Jarasandh as follows.
See, there are people
My
of
dear,
people of words. They waited for this word to come from his mouth. Correct?
hmm,
You understand? They are people of words. Even Jarasandha is a man of word. Okay, you can take whatever you want. After this is
hmm,
over, now they are revealing the truth. Correct.
hmm. After this, Lord Krishna addressed Jarasandha as follows. My dear king, please note that we are not actually Brahmanas, nor we have come to ask for foodstuffs or grains. We are all Kshatriyas and we have come to beg a duel with you. We hope that you will agree to this proposal. You may note that here is the second son of Pandu, Bhishma,
Bhimasena.
Bhimasen, and the third son of Pandu, Arjun. As for myself, you may know that I am your old enemy, Krishna, the cousin of the Pandavas.
Yeah, because Krishna has fought so many times. Yeah. And last war, Krishna ran away and he thought he became victorious. But actually, Krishna went to kidnap Rukmini. And he's a fool. So he's unnecessarily
Hmm.
thinking proud. Yeah, continue.
When Lord Krishna disclosed their disguise, King Jarasandh began to laugh very loudly. And then, in great anger and in a grave voice, he exclaimed, You fools, if you want to fight with me, I immediately grant your request. But Krishna, I know that you are a coward. I refuse to fight with you because you become very confused when you face me in fighting.
Just
Out of fear
imagine.
of
He lost 17 times, that he's not remembering. Huh? And the
Hmm,
last time he doesn't know for what reason Krishna ran away. And he
hmm.
thought that Krishna became frightened of him. Just look at the demons. Huh? Yeah, continue.
I refuse to fight with you because you become very confused when you face me in fighting. Out of fear of me, you left your own city, Mathura, and now you have taken shelter within the sea. Therefore, I must refuse to fight with you. As far as Arjuna is concerned, I know that he is younger than me and is not an equal fighter. I refuse to fight with him because he is not in any way an equal competitor. But as far as Bhimsen is concerned, I think he is a suitable competitor to fight with me. After speaking in this way, King Jarasandh immediately handed a very heavy club to Bhimsen, and he himself took another. And thus all of them went outside the city walls to fight.
Okay. So Kshatriya had the spirit. You can go and challenge a Kshatriya and he'll fight with you. Correct? Chalo, continue.
Bhimsen and King Jarasandh engaged themselves in fighting, and with their respective clubs, which were as strong as thunderbolts, they began to strike one another very
Severely.
severely, both of them being eager to fight. They were both expert fighters with clubs, and their techniques of striking one another were so beautiful that they appeared to be two dramatic artists dancing on a stage. When the clubs of Jarasandh and Bhimsen loudly collided, they sounded like the impact of the big tusks of two fighting elephants, or like a thunderbolt in a flashing electrical storm. When two elephants fight together in a sugarcane field, each of them snatches a stick of sugarcane, and by catching it tightly in his trunk, strikes the other. Each elephant heavily strikes his enemy's shoulders, arms, collarbones, chest, thighs, waist, and legs, and in this way the sticks of sugarcane are smashed. Similarly, all the clubs used by Jarasandh and Bhimsen were broken, and so the two enemies prepared to fight with their strong fisted hands. Both Jarasandh and Bhimsen were very angry, and they began to smash each other with their fists. The striking of their fists sounded like a striking of an iron bars or like the sound of thunderbolts, and they appeared to be like two elephants fighting. Unfortunately, however, neither was able to defeat the other because both were very expert in fighting. Both were of equal strength, and their fighting techniques were equal also. Neither Jarasandh nor Bhimsen
Became.
became fatigued or defeated in the fighting, although they struck each other continuously. continuously. At the end of the day's fighting, both lived at night as friends in Jarasandh's palace, and the next day they fought again. In this way, they passed 27 days in fighting. On the
Okay.
28th day,
Wait.
mm,
How much we have understood? Okay, so they're fighting like an elephant, Jarasandha, and class going on now. 10:30. What is it? Not be able to hear now. So my speaker is not working. Okay, so they both enemies prepared to fight with their strong fisted. Okay, and neither is it. Even when Bhima and this fought Duryodhana, at that time also the fight was 1-1, है ना? Almost equal. Jarasandha is also extremely powerful. He's able to fight with Bhima. Bhima was actually undefeatable. Okay? Although this at the end of day's fight, both lived the night as friends, and next day again they fought. The 27 days are over. Just imagine, huh? What culture of people in the night, they're not doing anything funny, huh? They're eating, friends, laughing. Kshatriya life was so different. We can't even imagine, no? Nupur? Correct?
yes.
Huh? It's
Mm,
kind of a life. They know somebody has come to challenge me, one of us have to die, then the fighting ends. They know this. Huh? Still they're not bothered. You know?
mm.
You can be, peaceful. Just imagine. And have food nicely, laugh, joke together. Okay. 28th the day.
On the 28th day, Bhimsen told Krishna, "My dear Krishna, I must frankly admit that I cannot conquer Jarasandha." Lord Krishna, however, knew the mystery of the birth of Jarasandha. Jarasandha was born in two different parts from two different mothers. When his father saw that the baby was useless, he threw the two parts in the forest, where they were later found by a black-hearted witch named Jara. She managed to join the two parts of the baby from top to bottom. Knowing this, Lord Krishna therefore also knew how to kill him. He gave hints to Bhimsen that since Jarasandh was brought to life by the joining of two parts of his body, he could be killed by the separation of these two parts. Thus, Lord Krishna transferred his power into the body of Bhimsen and informed him of the device by which Jarasandh could be killed. Lord Krishna immediately picked up a twig from a tree and taking it in his hand bifurcated it. In this way, he hinted to Bhimsen how
Jarasandha. Hare Krishna. It has come or not? New page. Jarasandha could be killed.
Jarasandh could be killed. Hello, Prabhuji?
Yeah, continue.
Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is omnipotent, and if he wants to kill someone, no one can save that person. Similarly, if he wants to save someone, no one can kill him. Informed by the hints of Lord Krishna, Bhimsen immediately took hold of the legs of Jarasandh and threw him to the ground. When Jarasandh fell to the ground, Bhimsen immediately pressed one of Jarasandh's leg to the ground and took hold of the other leg with his two hands. Catching Jarasandh in this way, he tore his body in two, beginning from the anus up to the head, as an elephant breaks the branches of a tree in two. So Bhimsen separated the body of Jarasandh. The audience standing nearby saw that the body of Jarasandh was now divided into two halves, so that each half had one leg, one thigh, one testicle, one breast, one half a backbone, half a chest, one collarbone, one arm, one eye, one ear, and half a face. As soon as the news of Jarasandh's death was announced, all the citizens of Magad began to cry, "Alas, alas," while Lord Krishna and Arjuna embraced Bhimsen to congratulate him. Although Jarasandh was killed, neither Krishna nor the two Pandav brothers made a claim to the throne. Their purpose in killing Jarasandh was to stop him from creating a disturbance against the proper discharge of world peace. A demon always creates disturbances, whereas a demigod always tries to keep peace in the world. The mission of Lord Krishna is to give protection to the righteous person and to kill the demons who disturb a peaceful situation. Therefore, Lord Krishna immediately called for the son of Jarasandh, whose name was Sahadev, and with due ritualistic ceremonies, he asked him to occupy the seat of his father and reign over the kingdom peacefully. Lord Krishna is the master of whole cosmic creation, and he wants everyone to live peacefully and execute Krishna consciousness. After installing Sahadev on throne, he released all the kings and princes who had been imprisoned unnecessarily by Jarasandh. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta Purport, second volume, 17, chapter of Krishna, liberation of King Jarasandh.
So we remember the kings that last time we read, no, had offered prayers to Krishna, correct? You remember that? And requested
Yes,
that
yes.
Please liberate us. And that Krishna has done it. My God, 20,800. Just like that fellow had
Oh my.
16,000 girls. These are 620. When you can conquer 20,000 kings, so it's acceptable somebody could conquer 16,000 girls. Correct? Easy, no? Correct? Yes. This kind of numbers are possible. Hai na? 20,000 kings can be kidnapped. Definitely 16,000 girls can be kidnapped. More, because girls are weaker than men. Hai na? Kings means you kidnap, so difficult it is. You have to attack the palaces, defeat the king. Whole army will come to protect. Anyway, so we can understand. So that means that the way system of administration was like lot of small princely kings. Hai na? Just like you have in Gulf today, I think similar like that. Small, many kings, isn't it? In Gulf is same way. Many kings, small kings. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can understand. Then, Nupur, what are the news?
What, Prabhuji?
What are the news? Now, what's happening in America?
Oh, yes, nothing the same.
No
Everything is
change.
the same.
What job you do?
No
Where
change.
you said you take help the old people?
Yeah. I work in a nursing home. I'm still a physiotherapist only, but I work there. And yeah, we see patients who are admitted there. So mostly all of them are like geriatric patients,
Means
older people.
what kind of patient? Geriatric means old.
Geriatric meaning old. Yeah.
And they can't move. It's kind of an old
Yeah,
age
they
home.
cannot move.
It's an old age home, kind of.
Yes. Like from the hospital when they're discharged, they go to the nursing home to get rehabilitated, so
Okay.
that they can go home back.
But they
But
don't go home.
some older people, some of them go home. Some of them are not safe to go home, so they live there only in the nursing homes, because if they go home, there's no one to take care of them. They're alone. They don't live with families or something like that. So the nursing home provides them with everything, all
Okay,
the
so
services.
it becomes what they call some kind of thing they call now when person is about to die, and they have some kind of a care that there is
Oh,
another
that's
name for
hospice. That's
it becomes
hospice.
a hospice also sometimes, kind of.
Yeah. People who are terminally ill,
Uh-huh.
they eventually go to hospice.
So this is not
They
hospice.
provide hospice service also.
Okay, they provide hospice service also. In America, it's quite common to take hospice services because at home nobody has time no, for you.
Yeah.
So you have to save money
True.
for hospice. How much they charge on
It
hospice?
no. It all depends. Here is everything is insurance. So if you have like Medicare, which is the very good insurance, like the government covers most of the expenses. But if you don't have Medicare, then there are some private insurances. So Medicare is given after people turn 65, and if they've worked in the US, they get social security benefits and all of that after 65. So everything, all the health coverage and everything is covered in that insurance in Medicare.
So that
And
was
those
called
who are not covered by Medicare,
Obamacare. They said Obamacare failed, and then we needed the Trump removed it. Obamacare. Obama wanted to
they
cover everybody, and they said it's not practical. America can't doesn't have that kind of money. है ना?
yes, because he wanted to give all the homeless people also the insurance and everything. But I don't know why it failed, but people were arguing that why should we pay for these homeless people who do nothing, who live on government benefits, and we are hardworking people, we pay taxes and everything, and we are giving our money to for their benefit, who do nothing but drugs and everything. So I don't know. Yeah, that was the argument. I mean, people were giving.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
So today, many people are missing. Who are the general regular people who are missing? We don't have Murthy
Manoj
Mataji.
is
Manoj is missing.
Murthy Mataji. Yeah.
Murthy Mataji is on the yatra.
Manoj.
ठीक है?
Oh,
Manoj
okay.
somehow. Shisha is on yatra.
Oh, yes, Dr. Steve Shah.
ठीक है. चलो. Doesn't matter. I have to just to screw people little and then again it becomes full. Huh? One time this has come to like Tatkal, 9 o'clock. If you don't come, you miss to enter. है ना?
Tapka.
Remember? Sharp 9 you
Yes,
have to be
yes.
in, otherwise you don't get in. Okay, that requires me to
Yeah,
just a
yeah, yeah.
little. And many people are missing here. Yuresh, you're missing since long time. है ना?
Yeah,
Used
Yuresh,
to be
yes.
very nice. And then
Mm.
now the facilities are improved, but see, every facility can be taken advantage of, and it can also be a source of distraction. Just like computers are made to save time,
Mm.
they say, but way they save time, they suck all the time. Mobiles are made to save time, way they
Mm.
save time, they suck all the time. है ना? People don't have maturity.
Mm. True, true, true,
Chalo.
true.
Okay, then tomorrow is a
Prabhuji,
big day.
I started,
Ah,
I told,
what?
why tomorrow?
No, no, tell me, tell me.
No, I said I started chanting, so I'm trying to keep it
Oh,
continuous.
how much you chant now?
I've started with 4 rounds, two,
Good, good.
four. Then gradually I'll try to increase. Yes.
Yeah, you should come. 16, not difficult. See, it's just that you have to pray to Krishna that I am helpless.
Yes.
No, you should feel that.
Yes.
I cannot fight with Maya. Just like Draupadi, no, I have no
Mm.
position. I'm totally helpless. You give me
Mm.
strength, I want to chant you around because you're alone. If you have association like in a temple, it just happens. You become, it's a habit.
That's true.
Every day I sleep, whatever time I sleep, 11 or 12, I get up by 4. I take bath, I'm ready by
Mm.
4:30. Mangal Aarti happens,
Mm.
5 to 7, I chant.
Mm.
I just don't do anything else. I just sit and chant. Okay?
Mm.
So just things just happen then if you are doing like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it becomes very
But I do
easy.
it before going to work. I do the chanting and everything. So
Mhm.
sometimes I chant more, but on holidays it's possible to chant more. But once I go to work, I don't have time. But
Okay.
while traveling, I can do. Yeah.
How do you travel? You travel by your own vehicle or?
No, I don't have car. Actually, I take Uber one way, and then
Okay.
while coming back, I take the bus because while going to work, it's better to reach early and as much as possible. So I take
When
the
you're
car
going by
because
Uber, so
sometimes
you
there's
can
a lot of
peacefully
traffic.
chant. When you're Uber, so you can peacefully
Yeah,
chant.
that's what I do.
Okay. And while
That's what
coming
I
by
do.
bus, maybe
Yeah.
little you're cautious because so many people are looking. है ना?
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
time, you know
But
what
I
you can
still,
do? You
I
can
try
put
to
on a
chant. I don't
headphone.
care.
Yeah, if you cannot chant, suppose, you can always hear some
Mm.
proper classes you can put on here.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Okay.
I try to do that whenever I feel
Yeah.
like. And then holiday, I can chant
Anyway,
more.
people are hearing. They're hearing film songs, everybody. Nobody. है ना? You hear Krishna
Yes, yes.
bhajans.
True.
Yeah, and hear Prabhupada
Yes.
classes, they're best. Prabhupada conversations,
Yes, I,
classes, they're best.
yeah. Oh. Yeah,
Hare
because
Krishna.
thank you for sending me all the YouTube videos so I can whenever I can go back to it and listen to it.
Yeah, that goes on. That's another because daily the classes are made. So anyway,
Yes,
it's done. It's not that I'm doing just
yes,
for you. I just do. The classes are done.
yes,
Hare
yes,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Murti Mata Ji, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu. So early morning tomorrow we are leaving for the
ठीक
airport.
है, done.
So
Keep in
just
touch with Sridhara.
yes, I'm keeping in touch with him.
ठीक
So
है?
I just wanted to say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We were missing you and talking your name. Where are you? We thought you're gone.
Okay.
Mm.
So
Upon
Damodar Aarti is
Yeah.
going on. So
yes,
I was
yes.
very busy. Okay.
ठीक है. Hare Krishna Tapan, when are you leaving for Bangalore?
Day after tomorrow, Prabhuji. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I will start from here. And around 6 o'clock, I think I would be there. 5:30
yeah.
or 6 o'clock,
You're taking a
I would
flight
be in
then.
Bangalore.
You're taking flight
Yes,
that
yes,
means.
Prabhuji.
Nupur is taking flight all the way to come to Bangalore, Hannah.
Oh, Haribol.
And Nupur comes to India and she doesn't come to Bangalore. She finishes work in Bombay and runs
I'll
away.
try to.
Next time we come. Now we
I
have a
come
guest
only
house.
to.
Hey, next time
Yes.
we have a guest house now, Nupur. It's easy. Even for Murti Mataji, it's easy now.
Okay.
Otherwise, they come where to stay. And once you stay in hotel, 90% of the fun is gone going to a temple, correct? Then at
Yeah,
temple, you feel
that's
different
true.
atmosphere. You are there in the temple, you can do service, you can
Mm.
chant. We can also come in. Hotel, we don't enter the hotel. Correct?
Yeah.
Like that. Chalo,
Okay, Prabhuji.
take an opportunity. Okay. Then your sisters, everybody has become devotee in the family. You converted all your relatives to devotees.
My family?
Yeah, you made all of them devotee. Your mother, father,
No,
sister.
no, but they do their own worship, Sai Baba and all of that, but they are not chanting or anything. but they like that I do it. They
Okay,
don't have
that's
any problem with it. But I remember when I was in Bangalore, there were so many classmates who came to ISKCON because of me. They used to tell me that you started us, taking us to ISKCON.
No,
I
just
remember that.
catch up all this girl Nirjari. We don't find her sometime. Okay? And that
Yeah, yeah,
Meena, she can always join us. What is
yeah,
the
yeah.
problem?
I'm in touch with them.
Tell
She
us why.
tells me that it's very hard.
What is
It's
hard?
hard because they have kids, so they are running behind kids.
How many
This
kids there?
Meena told me that she listens.
How many
She
kids she
has
has?
one right now, Meena.
Wow. As if
Meena has
how
one.
old is
Yeah.
it? How old is it, kid?
Right now maybe like she's around
Oh.
4, between 3, 4. Yeah.
Then her sister
So
got
she tells
married.
me, but that she'll.
She had a sister
No, I
also.
don't think so. I haven't heard that yet. She didn't tell me anything about that, but I don't
Okay.
think so. Not yet.
Very
Maybe
pious,
they're still looking or something.
very pious. है ना?
Yeah.
You met her sister? Very
Yes. Yes.
pious,
Yes.
calm, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Unusually
Yeah.
calm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. She's also enjoying Krishna consciousness. This Meena made all the family members devotee, her mother,
I
father,
know.
sister,
Yes. Yes.
husband. Yeah.
Yes.
At least 4, 5.
Yes. Yes.
There's
Probably.
5. है ना?
Yes.
Okay.
I still remember actually me and Meena were friends like long time ago. And I remember she met her husband first time when I met her husband first time and in ISKCON only, in Andheri ISKCON, Juhu ISKCON. So yeah, I still remember that.
So, Prabhu, all the devotees are enjoying.
I
They
don't know.
must have them.
Sridhara. You keep in touch with Sridhara.
So
Okay.
they're all. I mean, he has been sending the photos.
Some
And
photos.
yes, I saw your parents also in a group photo.
Yeah. Chalo. ठीक है, Mataji, tomorrow you will join them. ठीक
Yes,
है?
yes, Prabhu. We are joining tomorrow. Okay.
Okay,
Prabhu. So,
okay.
okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Tapan, you want to say something?
No, nothing, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Actually, I was having today some network issues, so I had to drop out.
That's part of it.
Yeah,
And you know, you should, at the top of it, you have a sign of network. Can you see that? There is a signal, bandwidth uses. You go on the top, you have signal, small, bigger, you know, like a network. So you should correct it to this thing. That is the issue you have to do. Suppose it is disconnecting, reduce it. Reduce it, that's all.
Okay.
It's an auto, you can reduce it. Then it will not go. And you just like you now, your video is not there. Yeah. Always photo you remove and reduce the bandwidth. That much it will take. Okay, in case you have an issue. Okay. Hare Krishna, Napo.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Murti
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Tapan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.